Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another glorious tier list Tuesday. I guess this is a series now because I like doing them and it alliteration's fun. So, last Tuesday we did Marvel, so it only seemed natural this Tuesday we tackle the DC universe. Disclaimer, this is only the current DCEU, which does not include like the Christopher Nolan Batmans, it doesn't include the Joker. Basically, if it was good or old, it doesn't include it. So, just a breakdown of how we do things here on a scale from wonderful to unbearable. Gotta add a little bit of moderation here because we're gonna have a wonderful for DC standard. I do not want what you can I do not want you to think, wow, both Endgame and whatever he puts from here are on the same tier. They are not. These are all tier list dependent. If any single one of these movies were in Marvel, it would be like C on its best day. But it wouldn't be fair to DC if I didn't do it at all. So let's dive right in, shall we? Over here we got my recording set up. Everything's looking good. This should be a quick video because as you can see, there's only 10 things to talk about down here, and I don't have much to say about many of them. So let's start with Aquaman. Aquaman is pretty good. It's like not like very special. It's like a fun little action movie. You gotta love Jason Momoa. I met him. I said, I told him that I thought we were having a Jason moment, and he just sighed and like told me to leave. It was kind of funny. He didn't like kick me out, but he was like, bro, it was a very funny moment. My dear friend Nick was there for it. He witnessed it. It was magical. But yeah, outside of Amber Heard and all her issues, I mean, the movie is pretty watchable, simple little action movie, and all in all, I think it's a B. Middle of the road, pretty good. Batman versus Superman. I've never seen the director's cut, but seeing as the Snyder Cut is down here, as well as the Justice League, and there is no special cut of Batman versus Superman, I don't need to feel bad that I've never seen that. And let me tell you, this version of Batman versus Superman, bam, unbearable, absolute garbage. Not the worst movie we're going to talk about today, but it was just so all over the place. It was so dark, both tonally and visibly. I like Ben Affleck as Batman. I think he's pretty good. I think it was the best part of the movie. But like, there's just so many issues with this movie. It just doesn't really work. This is where it goes. Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey is another like pretty dang good, like I can sit through this and have a good time movie. And I think it goes right up there with Aquaman. We'll worry about order in a bit. Harley Quinn's a fun lead. The Birds of Prey are fun. Ewan McGregor kind of like steals the film with his black mask. A lot of good about this movie. I know a lot of people didn't see it because, I mean, there was a whole thing where they renamed the movie Harley Quinn because I guess Birds of Prey wasn't like people didn't know that was a Harley Quinn movie. But yeah, as far as the current DCEU landscape goes, actually not that bad. The Justice League, the OG, not Snyder. This is one of the worst films I've ever seen. It is undoubtedly the worst film we're going to talk about today. I have not a doubt in my mind. This movie is absolute garbage. Not a single moment of it is good in my eyes. They took Wonder Woman, who was one of the only good characters at this point, made her a sex object. Batman made him weird and quippy for no reason. Superman's barely even in it, and then when he is, there's like this weird ass like thing. Ezra Miller's Flash doesn't work at all in this version. Cyborg has no development at all. You have no idea who this character is. And Aquaman, another similar boat. You're just like, who are these people? It's absolutely rushed this movie way too hard, way too fast, and it is, I would say, in contention for the worst superhero film ever made on a major scale. Man of Steel is not good. It is dark and gritty, and there's some good stuff. Michael Shannon's performance as Zod is pretty good, but this movie is just like, So I think that's going to give it a D. It's definitely not in my top half of DC movies I would watch if you told me I had to put one on. But, you know, Henry Cavill is a pretty good Superman. There's some classic Superman stuff in here. It's fine. It's like, I definitely wouldn't give it, I would not watch it Like, so the difference between it's fine for Aquaman and Birds of Prey and it's fine for Man of Steel is, and this is like the gray area, which we'll put a movie here at some point, is this is, it's fine, I'll watch it, and this is it's fine, but I don't want to watch it. Shazam. Shazam is so good. Shazam is, an A-tier movie for sure. It is so much fun. Great cast of the kids. You got Mark Strong. There's so much good in this movie. In my eyes, it's undoubtedly the second best DC movie. We'll get to the first best in a moment. But a lot of fun. Great casting. I was upset because I know John Cena was rumored to be Shazam, and I'm a big wrestling fan, so John Cena would have been cool. But Zachary Levi was a great choice. Everyone's perfectly cast. This movie is just so much fun. I couldn't recommend it enough. It's like, I mean, like, literally, there's 2 movies above the B tier, and those are the only 2 that I would be like, go see it. You'll have a great time, and Shazam is one of them. Suicide Squad, you ready for this? Another unbearable film. This movie, first of all, the concept's great. I love the Suicide Squad. Who doesn't? It had a good start. I liked all the introduction of the characters, and it was like Case Files with Ben Affleck. And then the movie just loses all of its steam once they actually start doing Suicide Squad stuff. One of the major issues is this movie was completely like half reshot, and they completely changed the plot. Originally, the Joker was going to be the main antagonist, and Enchantress was part of the team, and they switched that last second. So there's a lot of the movie's actual like guts were ripped out. It never really stood a chance. Will Smith's performance is like okay. Harley Quinn obviously is pretty good as Harley Quinn. Boomerang is the best part of this movie. And you can tell that they kept the really good parts, because Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang are going to be in James Gunn's good Suicide Squad movie, which I'm just going to predict is going to be amazing, like wonderful tier. But it's not out yet, so what can you do? Yeah, but this movie is just, it's a good example that, like, no matter how much money you have and how many cool set pieces and ideas and characters you have, you can't just make a movie with pieces. You need a through line, and this movie doesn't have one. Wonder Woman. The first Wonder Woman is DC's only wonderful film, no pun intended. But Wonder Woman it's so good. This movie is incredible. It's very well written and directed. Wonder Woman's such a good character. It's such a good female empowerment film. The scene where she goes into no man's land while a little on the nose is so awesome. And this movie really has very little flaws. The only gripe I have with this movie is, and it's not even like a direct issue, it's just the way it was cut, is that Steve tells Wonder Woman, like, listen, humans are just bad sometimes. You can't go blaming Ares for every war humans have ever had. It's like, it's just the way humans are. You can't expect that when you defeat Ares, everything's gonna go back to normal. And even Ares says that. He says, like, I gave them a nudge. I like brought out their worst side, but it was a side that was already there. And that's such a good message for a movie to give a superhero from like a fish out of water standpoint. But then she beats Ares, and it just happens to be the end of the war, and all the fighting stops. It was the last battle of the war. They mentioned the war was actually already over, and like it was like a straggler fight. But like the way it was put together, it really looked like she defeated Ares after Steve's big sacrifice, and then it was all fixed in the end. So, while not a perfect film, it maybe would get like a B, maybe even on a really good day an A in a Marvel standard, but for DC, it's as wonderful as it gets. Does the sequel stand up? No. The sequel is pretty fun. It's going to be our C tier. The sequel is very disjointed. There's like a lot of like, they went too many different directions. Like Cheetah is there and a pretty okay character, but like, why is she there? Why has she become Cheetah? It's really stupid. You got Pedro Pascal being Max Powers, I think is his name. Very forgettable. As like your Donald Trump type villain, and he gets this wishing stone, and he like wishes to be the wishing stone, even though the wishing stone's like whole thing is that it's got monkey paw energy, like you wish for something and it'll be granted, but at what cost? And like if you wish to become the wishing stone, you'd think the at what cost would be haha you're a rock. Nah, he just gets like kind of sick sometimes, and then everything from that point forward is wacky because he gets to set the rules of what the wishing stone takes takes away. Sometimes it doesn't always work. It's a complete mess. Lots of fun 80s stuff if you like the 80s. Gal Gadot, like, kinda, sorta is a little rapey. I mean, like, I don't love using that word, but like, Steve gets brought back in some random dude's body and they just are cool with it and they don't once think about this guy's life. But yeah, it's all right. It's this is an all right. Well, this is, like I said, it's the gray area between all right, I won't watch it, and all right, I will watch it. This is like, all right, maybe on a good day I'll watch it, but probably not. Maybe if I just watched Wonder Woman. But yeah, it's nowhere near as good. It's actually, it might even suffer a little from how good its predecessor is. And then finally, we have the Snyder Cut of the Justice League, which I watched. And I watched all 4 hours of this. Let me tell you, absolutely not worth 4 hours. I would not recommend this movie to anyone except for a diehard fan because it has no business being 4 hours. It fixes a lot of the issues with this Justice League. You get to know who Cyborg is. He's actually, like, he feels important in this movie. They hone in Batfleck. Ezra Miller as the Flash works a little bit better. He gets a scene that was like he gets like a really crucial introduction scene that like gets you a feel for who he is and what he does. So it's a huge upgrade from Justice League, but it is not like a top tier film that everyone thought it was gonna be. As far as switching places around, I don't have to do it in many places. I think the only one I need to do is that Suicide Squad is better than Justice League. I would say Suicide Squad's better than Batman vs Superman, but the movie's like, apparently it's got a better 30-minute version, so you just for that version existing and everyone swearing by it, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt and make it the best unbearable film. But this is the order. You got Wonder Woman at number 1, Shazam at number 2, Aquaman at number 3, Birds of Prey at number 4. I gotta tell you, those could switch on a dime. These two movies are very interchangeable. They're both very good. They're the same level of fun, same level of zany, same level of not a lot of plot there, but who needs it? Then you got Wonder Woman 84 in 5th, Snyder League at 6th, Man of Steel 7, Batman vs Superman at 8, Suicide Squad at 9, and Justice League at a fat 10. And I gotta tell you, they could release a DC movie that's just, I don't know, who's a DC character? It's just Martian Manhunter shape-shifting into different things for 2 hours with no dialogue and no plot, and it would be infinitely better than Justice League, probably better than the Suicide Squad. It would, if just him shape-shifting with no words, would probably land him somewhere in this ballpark. That's how bad DC is. They gotta pick up their game. We know they're capable of good stuff. If Joker was on here, or the Dark Knight trilogy, literally, I think you got Dark Knight, obviously, and Joker are probably up here. Dark Knight Rises and Batman Begins are probably here. Like, DC knows how to do good work. They just gotta, like, make this work, because right now it absolutely does not. I mean, I hope one day it works. I mean, I just finished Young Justice. That show is so good. There's more character development for some of the characters that have movies here in Justice League, in Young Justice, where there are side characters that are appear every now and again, then some of these characters get in their whole movies. Like, it's crazy how much good work DC has to take after, and it just doesn't. So I hope that maybe James Gunn's Suicide Squad is the beginning of something great. We'll have to see. But yeah, here it is. DC. Ironic. Not many movies fall in the DC tier. Collectively, there's some more unbearable movies. Well, same number, whatever. But yeah, I've been Wonder Bear. I hope you like the tier list Tuesdays. I'll keep them going as long as you guys keep watching. And like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the tier list. Let me know what you think of these movies. If there's something you would change, something you haven't seen, something you're interested in. Yes, Nolan, I will watch all the Marvel and Star Wars movies and now the DC movies with you. Just name a time and place. And that'll be it, man. I've been Wonder Bear. Thank you so much for watching. Do all the things I just said. And I'll catch you tomorrow with some more Pokemon, probably. And I'll catch you next Tuesday with, I don't know what tier list is next. DC was the obvious next choice after Marvel. The next tier list could really be anything. So if you have ideas for tier lists, please leave them in the description. I was gonna say maybe I'll do something, but I can't even think of what that would be. So ideas. I'll take any idea that has a feasible tier list. Don't like spit something out and be like I won't be able to find. But like, yeah, a reasonable idea for a tier list. Drop them in the comments, and I'll probably do them. Once again, I've been Wonder Bear. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe. We're on the road to 1 million subscribers. Until next time, keep it easy.